Well, this is it. Final time in FPRL Season 6. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the grand finale. FPRL Tier 1 on a Monday night. I'm Cruiser 1872. A bit more hyperactive than I was on Friday. Doesn't sound like it, but I can assure you I am for the Tier 1s and the final title decider of the season, Object Fungus versus AMS Drive, who will take the title in Abu Dhabi tonight. And to join me on what can be a historic evening in FPRL, please welcome another new partnership for me. Please welcome Rosie R180.
Hello, people.
So Rosie, you've been doing quite a few of the tier 3 races. I can probably guess A with General Jake and B because I was in tier 3. But
Yep.
this is proper racing right here. These are some of the best drivers we have to offer here. So expect to see some thunderous lap times as there's Drobel on what is going to be their return, and they're sole outing in the Haas, taking a quick exciting lap around the track. As I mentioned as well, Object and AMS Drive, 8 points between them in the standings, and all Object Fungus has to do is finish ahead or finish within range of AMS Drive, and he will take home his second FPRL Tier 1 championship and be the only driver to take 2 championships in this tier. And in this league, actually, for that matter. And for AMS Drive, he's still chasing that elusive first. So, regardless, it's going to be history in the making, but who wants it that little bit more? As we wait for Drobel to go around turn, the final corner, and we begin a lap of the Yaz Marina circuit. I'll probably throw up the telemetry, because why not? As we head through turn 1, 90-degree left-hander, run as wide as you can without going over the white line. Now turn 2, and then turn 3, so easy to cut the corner too tight. And turn 4, and then newly reprofiled turn 5. Shout out to Nigel Piddle, his favourite corner on the calendar. Viva Max Verstappen. And now down this never-ending back straight, aided with the DRS, one of the longest DRS straights on the calendar. So expect a few overtaking opportunities down to the chicane of turn 6, and then turn 7 immediately following, because that is what a chicane is, an immediate corner, one another. And then out of the exit, in towards turn 8, almost non-existent, and now towards turn 9, another newly reprofiled hairpin. Expect another bit of overtaking around here, but not as much as down towards turn 6. And then this bit of track relatively unchanged, heading up towards the hotel. Double right-hander, hard on the brakes, and then throw it again to the right-hand side, double left, under the hotel bridge, and through Nicholas Latifi corner for the final couple of right-handers, turn 16 and then turn 17, before you straight line it for a short dash to the line, and Drobel on a 122.2. Like I said, Rosie, these guys know what they're doing.
Yeah, they do know what they're doing.
Unlike David Lawface.
Oh.
Invalidation. An invalidation on his first run. Come on, David, you're better than that. Take notes from Tidgeon, for example. P10 in Tier 2. He's joining me on the grid next season in the Ferrari. Now through the hotel section, I think Tidgeon looking for a little bit of redemption from the Tier 4 race. He fared better in a tier with higher competition. So in Tier 1, expect him to be in a podium tonight. Now around the final corner for Tidgeon, what's this going to be? It's going to be a 124.0, which actually, compared to Junivane, is actually not that bad for Tidgeon. It's a solid effort from the Ferrari driver.
Oh, and Silverside Boy goes third with a 122.6.
Right, guys, you're going up. Over to Billy. Well,
Wow.
over and out for Billy. He's out of sight by 4 tenths. Or go on the McLaren. Fond memories of that car around here. And now, this is what we want to see. The 2 title contenders level pegging down the back straight. Tidgeon, get out of the shot. This is what it's going to come down to. I think these two are just saying just all the best and good luck for the evening. AMS Drive has to outscore Object Fungus by 8 points, or rather 9 points, due to Object's absurd amount of victories this season. But regardless, it's not impossible for AMS Drive. Anything can happen in this championship, and I think I don't know who's wanting to take the lead for the first lap, as, Billy has left the session. Thankfully he's back in the pit lane, so shouldn't be too much of a problem. And there's AMS Drive. He's now going to lead them to start their first run. Jump back over to David. He's doing a second flying lap, probably drained a bit of fuel, and recharged his battery. Off he goes once again in the AlphaTauri. He's probably a carry Object to this championship. He's going to be what Checo Perez was a few years ago, and a roadblock around this track, just to back up AMS Drive, because we all know David is one of the best drivers in this league. Not for his skill, but for his commitment and dedication. Now through the hotel for David Longface, double left, through the Latifi corner. Done quite well actually for David, and I think he's going to have a little rivalry, or little on-track feud with Tidgham tonight, as he very nearly runs wide, opens up the final corner as much as he can, and to the line. David Longface, that is a cracking effort from yourself, mate. Couple of hundreds down in Genevieve.
That is a good lap.
Right, me and David are in tier 2. Here we go. Can someone actually please tell me, where has he pulled that lap from? Like, please? He probably doesn't even know how he's done that, to be fair. Anyway, back now to the lead car on track, but the one doing all the chasing in the championship, the Aston Martin of AMS Drive. Let's see what their first lap can be, and could maybe Billy or Drobel, even Henkes for that matter, up in third. Could they have something to say later on in the qualifying, as even Shadows is confused about David's lap time, and Nigel was saying that the car got him there. I mean, it's an AlphaTauri, mate. It was one of the worst cars on the grid this year. If it wasn't for a late salvo, they'd have finished last. Anyway, we're in the final few corners for AMS Drive. Expect this to be at least on the front row for the Aston, up to the line, and indeed the front row.
Ooh.
That is second place. Now, what does Object have to offer through the final corner? And he's only third on a 22-2. So as of right now, the advantage with AMS Drive, but FRC Billy, he's got pole position so far.
That is a good lap.
A decent effort that, as Fishsticks and Jock, the two in and out lap, probably going to set one lap, or maybe go for another lap. I see Fishsticks as they go for the ultimate slipstream approach here, right behind Jock, as we start the lap, and Fishsticks repping the Mercedes. Absolute dominance this year, and one of the best teams I've ever been in.
Oh, and Nigel's redeemed a drink for us both.
Yeah, if only I had one. I'll sort that out after qualifying. Anyway, through turn 4, and Fishsticks is 17.3. That's actually a pretty decent first sector, that, for Fishsticks. Now down the back straight, and this is where the slipstream, at least he's hoping for, is going to help him a little bit, as he's going to get a higher top speed, because of course that's how slipstream works for those who are new to Formula 1 outside of 2023 in the final round. Now the chicane for the Mercedes, and there's Jockey's. Fishsticks is actually doing very well. He is not letting Jock out of his sight, down towards turn 9. How that's fair for the Mercedes, because right now he's probably looking like he couldn't maybe challenge David, or even get close to Silverside boy Junivane, as he improved on 3-lap-old softs to go up to 6th. Expect him to be a little bit higher up the pack. Object still making his way round to the pit lane. I think he may have actually ran out of fuel on that lap, drained everything, unless he made a mistake. I definitely expect improvement for the AlphaTauri, who's actually going to go again. So he's not satisfied with that first run, so he's going to see what he has in the tank, as Jock up to the line goes 8th, and Fishsticks goes 10th. What was that, 16 thousandths behind David?
Whoa.
So, fair enough. Not too shabby for the Mercedes, and Jock, he's up there with Silverside boy, and I think he would want to be a little bit higher up the grid. See what happens with that. Anyway, Object Fungus matching his first sector, and there is speaking of Drobel, actually, that's Drobel doing a setup for his second lap. And 7 minutes to go in this Tier 1 and FPRL Grand Finale around Abu Dhabi. We jump on board with the AlphaTauri. As I said, 8 points, so he just needs to finish as high up the order as he can. If he finishes in second place or higher, which to be fair for Object isn't that difficult based on his performances, he will have the championship sewn up tonight as he just about makes it through turn 12 and uses a lot of that curve there on the right hand side to slingshot out of the hotel in the final few corners for the AlphaTauri. This is looking better for Object Fungus, but how much better is it? Up to the line, he's found 3/10, but he's still in third.
Can anyone beat Billy's time?
Well, there's not much between the top three. Billy is still leading the way, and he's actually not going for another lap just yet. Might be waiting for another run. Drobel on their lap, up by 2/10. Not bad for Drobel. Does quite well there around the final few corners. Can he make it onto the front row in the Haas? He's gone too wide, and that would have put him up ahead. That actually still would have kept him in fourth. But that is a really costly mistake for Drobel.
Nigel, you're not even racing.
Well, I mean, fair enough. As well, one Mercedes. Speaking of Mercedes, Henkes goes ahead of Drobel after that invalidation, and I think for Drobel, get back to the pits as fast as you can. That's going to be their approach. Silverside Boy is not improving. Safe to say, he's down by 18 seconds. Junuvain matching his first sector run, but will jump towards AMS Drivers, just starting his lap. Not much to gain around the first sector, but, well, tell a lie, 1.5 tenths from AMS Drive. That, I think, is a statement towards Billy tonight, and to Object Fungus. Even though he has done another lap as the AlphaTauri, AMS Drive wants to give himself the best advantage he can ahead of his race. Anything he can do, he's got to do to the absolute best and to his limits tonight, and he's going to be pushing them all the way around this track. Can he make it on the front row, or rather go one up from the front row onto provisional pole? 5 minutes left in our final qualifying of the campaign. He's up now towards the second sector. He's not found much time, but he's still up by 2/10. Minimal gains, but it's all he needs just to stretch that gap to Billy and Object as he now heads towards the hotel for what should be the penultimate time in qualifying if he sets this lap and sets this track on fire, which he is absolutely doing. You see how close he is to the white lines, giving it everything here. As AMS Drive around the final corner. If as long as he doesn't do what Drobel done, he fares very nicely, and this is a 1:21.5. Game on.
What a lap.
That's a lap he needed. He needed that. Two more than 2/10 ahead of Billy, but crucially 4/10 ahead of Object. He needed that big time for the confidence boost. See what Silverside Boy done. He actually found 2/10 there. He's still in 6th ahead of Junuvain, which if he stays there is actually...
Yeah, it has. Yeah, it has.
Oh, no. I think I'll just refresh. Yep, I just refreshed my stream. Should be okay. LMK, let me know.
Yeah, it looks alright.
Oh well. Oh, didn't miss much. Just missed Tijim set and it's finding a second in his time. It'll still be last. And as well, I should mention too, Ads and Bourbon Boy DNF'd very early in the session. I think just purely for the fact that, well, why not do a last to first? Ads has got third place sewn up by quite a lengthy way of 80 points. So he's got nothing to fight for. And Bourbon Boy needs to make sure that Henkes doesn't beat him by 7 points. So it's not impossible for Bourbon Boy. Because if I remember correctly, he started in 18th around... Oh, actually, no, I think it was 14th around Singapore. And still came through to win that race, which was probably one of the best races I've actually commentated on this season. Darth Ray Fox saying if can I join the race? Well, you've got 2 minutes, Fox, if you think you can make it, but I need maybe a little bit too late to throw out the question. Anyway, well, speaking of which, 2 minutes left, and this is now the part where everyone is getting ready for their final runs, and there, Billy actually, he is going for another run, obviously, because of that, and AMS Drive is not going to improve. So that final run of a 21.5, that's the benchmark. And Nigel, I said one of the best races. Nigel, your Grand Slam in Italy is one of the most historic. It's the first one I've seen.
Wow.
Spoil entitled little... Strolls around here because he won a championship. What? Honestly.
Oh, Fox, you've got 1 minute and 25 to join. I don't know if you can join.
I mean, well, if he can, kudos. If he can't, Nigel saying fair enough, I'll forgive you. You're still entitled though, Nigel, but still. Right up the tier 2s, I'm gonna miss it. David, doing well. Fish Sticks getting a toe from his good friend. And Jock just setting himself up, but I think, really, this is who we're going to have eyes on here. As long as he gets on the front row, he gives himself a good advantage to go through and take a victory. Because if AMS Drive wins, Object has to finish in second. Anything less, AMS Drive knows what he has to do, and he's got to win, and a win is all he can do. Just as we start the final lap here with FRC Billy in the McLaren. Can he find that extra 3 tenths, or rather 2 and a bit tenths, to put himself back in pole position, or can Object find the near 4 tenths he needs to have a chance? And Fox, good luck. Good luck getting in the game, because you've got 4 seconds.
I don't think you could set a lap in that much time.
Yeah, unless you grab a time machine. Good luck. And Fox has joined right at the end, so hopefully that wasn't a mistake from me. Fingers crossed. Anyway, Billy now heading towards the second sector split, and this is where we're going to see the big gains, because that chicane can single-handedly mess up or make a lap, and he's matching his time down minimal on his run. But this is where the fresher tyres will make the lap stick. As around we go for the final time with the McLaren, using as much as he can for that slingshot out of the hotel. Can he put himself within range of AMS Drive and spoil the party down at Aston Martin? At least have his champagne on ice for a little bit longer at Aston. So 21.6 and it's not enough. Drobo goes third, but what about Object? He's up minimally in his time by 300ths, and much like with Billy, can he make it onto the front row? He needs to be at 21.6. Has to find 3 tenths in his final sector. He's got a massive snap, and he's not. Was that the first track in this championship finale? That is a vital mistake from Object, and he finds himself in 4th. AMS Drive takes what could be the most priceless pole position he's going to have in FPRL, with Billy in second, Drobo improving to 3rd, but Object Fungus down in 4th. This is going to make for a very, very interesting race.
What a good qualifying.
Yeah, Silverside Boy rooting on the lower tiers. I mean, let's be fair, he did beat Ads and Bourbon Boy, so I think we should put him up into tier 1. Fish Sticks getting one up on David Lawface, and Tijim propping up the field with the lap times set. Now, onto the grand finale. The final race of Season 6. And Fox saying that he made it into for the race. So we'll have 14 drivers for tonight. Way. Thank God I'm not driving
14.
this. Yeah, thank God I'm not driving this track again. This one can do one. I do not like this track. As showed by the 12 seconds I got in Tier 3 and partially given up
Wow.
on lap 7. Oh, shout out to Head Steward. saying that they need a break. I think, well, to be fair, I think we'll need a break as well for comms. You know what? It's Christmas. Alright? Get as much bevy. Get as much bevy as you can. And just blare Mariah Carey or Michael Bublé. Whatever you want to listen to.
Listen to all your favourite Christmas songs.
Yeah, the select few that actually don't annoy you to death, like Wham.
I love Wham.
No, that sucks. I don't mind it. I don't mind it, but it's always the same thing every year.
What is your favourite Christmas song?
I don't really have one. I just let it. I just let Christmas go by.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And Nigel continuing with me being a quote weird breed of Scot. I mean, you're not wrong. Shadow saying that I am the Scrooge.
Fairy Tale of New York.
Didn't they try to cancel that a few years ago? They did try to cancel it. So your song's bad. Your song's banned, Gary. It's banned. You've offended someone. Oh dear. I see Nigel's got a few questions. He's got a few questions for Silverside Boy's choice. Nigel says he rates a song called Blue Christmas. I don't want to know. Because it's Nigel. I don't want to know. And also, Gary, if you could tell Checo to hurry up, because he's going to be out of contract by 2025. Yeah, I said it. Checo's out of a seat next year. Right, bring back the Aussie. on the Daniel Avocado. Here we go. What do you mean you don't want to know? Because it's you, Nigel. Because it's Michael Bublé.
My God. That song was cancelled.
Yeah. To be fair, we should cancel Christmas as a holiday. Just give everyone a lump of coal. Be on your way. Throw it at someone's window, and off you go.
That is so mean.
Aren't I just?
Everyone, Cruiser is now the Scrooge.
Yep. Bah humbug with your Christmas decorations and everything else. I have a heart that's 2 times the size. That is also too small.
I bet you enjoy coal.
Yeah.
Big up Mariah.
Yeah. On the Mariah Carey. You don't. Not one peep all year, and as soon as November 1st hits, straight on the radio. And Nigel saying, as I keep saying, he's Scottish. You should know. You should know, Nigel. Even though you've rooted for me a few times in Tier 3, I say a few times, that the Scots are known to quote unquote bottle things and be generically grumpy. Which is probably why I didn't bother in Tier 2 on Saturday and Friday night. But we are here for the final time. The last stand.
Did you even get a chance to get a drink, Cruiser?
No, I did not. I was too busy chatting. At least... There we go. I had one within arm's length. Well, I'm half Scottish, and I'm neither a bottle nor grumpy. Well, to be fair, Nigel, you didn't really bottle too much this season. I wouldn't really say much about the other part. I think you're probably just grumpy for having to deal with all the bloody stewards reports. I think that might have a small part in it. And, yep. Shout out to the biggest sandbag since Diamond Douche, the Flow. And no, I don't mean he is actually a sandbag. He done a very courteous and generous thing to give his teammate a very big helping hand in the championship on Sunday. If you haven't saw that, check that out on the FPRL Twitch channel, twitch.tv/FP Racing League, to catch up on all of our season finales, and also check out the FP Racing League YouTube channel where some of our races are uploaded to the YouTube channel. So you're never too far away from FPRL. And this, actually, I tell a lie, you won't be too far away if you type !Discord in the Twitch chat. That'll give you a link to our recruitment server. Complete the steps and we'll get you in ahead of our Season 7 countdown and our Season 7 build-up. A much bigger and better countdown than the 30-minute Hug Mini show they have on BBC One. And there for the final time, there's the field, ready to join the dread. And fish sticks. Should we give him a 5-second penalty for that? And Gary, you as well.
And the lights go out.
Indeed, the lights light up the track, and for one final time in Season 6, we go racing for our Tier 1 Grand Finale. Billy got an almighty launch it out of the starting blocks, and away goes his Amos Drive. Got a little bit of a shove there from Drobel. The still level pegging it towards Turn 2, and then Turn 3, Amos Drive has only lost one place, and that is all he can afford. He's got to keep ahead of Drobel and hope Object Fungus doesn't make the move stick as we judge up on board with the Alpha Tauri. This is vital for him. Down the inside at Turn 5, and Drobel around the outside doesn't get the traction down into a wheel-to-wheel in towards the chicane, level pegging down the back straight. Object has to make the move stick early on, and here comes the MS Drive, giving it Object a slipstream is now down the outside. We're 4 wide and towards Turn 5, and now Turn 6 is Drobel ahead of Object Fungus, Billy, and Drive now from first down to fourth, still fighting with the McLaren. But it's Drobel who leads them away in towards Turn 9, and that is vital for Object Fungus. He's got the jump on MS Drive.
Wow.
Wow is about right. Wow, scary. Wow, brilliant. From everyone, it's that's a bit late there for Mansonos to help us side boy. Trying to make the move around the outside of a Ferrari, but it's not going to happen there. Is David.
Oh, and David.
No, David.
Poor David. Now Cruz is crying.
David, I hyped you up. I hyped you up, David, and you ruined it. Classic comms curse. Here goes Bourbon Boy into the pits. And I think David's just decided, you know what, I'm going to blame Mariah Carey. He's probably decided he's got better things to do at this time. And now, Bourbon Boy onto a set of mediums. So, 2-stop race then for Williams. And why not? Get rid of the soft sets. That's early. Flo said, has David done a Latifi? Not quite. He lost it at the start of the hotel section, not the end of the hotel. But anyway, now, this is... Now if you're Object, now you've got to, all you've got to do now is just keep Drive within range. And crucially as well, if you're Billy, you had that almighty start, but you just got mugged down at the back straight from what was first, now down to fourth. It's a nightmare scenario for him as Bourbon Boy has left the session lead and invite back as soon as possible. Junivane had a decent start to head up to 5th and actually maintain 5th place. Adds up 7 places, albeit on a set of softs, to head up to 6th, and granted he was a bit out of place starting at the back. Silverside Boy up a place ahead of Jock, and Fox up 3 places with Heinkes down 6. So Henkes must have been caught up somewhere. Maybe he got caught out with David. Might explain why he's lost all those places, and as well up at the front, Drobo up 2, Object up 2, Drive down, and Billy down 2 places. So a direct swap almost for the top 4. Another question as well though, the driver in 5th, could they have something to say later on? Nigel, you have a cheek to ask why someone is texting and driving. No offence, but you have a cheek to ask. And saying as well, actually, he would argue that Object's now in a worse place. Being in 2nd, but AMS Drive behind him and kind of a slipstream, but as well, like, the straight line speed, I tripped over my tongue there, but the straight line speed there, that Object Fungus had, he didn't even use his battery, and he just soared past Billy and AMS Drive, so that could be important for later on. And Flo, I won't repeat that, but there's a likely possibility that it did. Judging by the reaction, I think Rosie saw what Flo has said.
Yeah.
I dare not repeat it.
No.
As I try and keep it somewhat civil and not use any swear words, but when I don't care, I
Keep
just
it
don't care.
PG.
Well, we have to. We don't want to get demonetised. We've barely even been
No.
monetised, so we need to get demonetised. Anyway, lap 3 of our final race in Season 6 around the Yas Marina circuit. Safety car is in this lap. Timed brilliantly. Well done, me. And Nigel, I do not approve. I don't approve. You're goading me for us winning the trophy. Shush. As Jim Duke would say. Yeah, I went there. I went there. I pulled the shush card.
You pulled the shush card off of General Jake.
And I mean, Nigel, yeah, as we get back underway, Nigel Pedro has distracted me with a very valid comment. Again, I'm not going to repeat for the sake of Twitch, but it's to do with news about their guidelines. Anyway, away we go to start lap 4 of 29. Drobo, Object, Drive, Billy, Junivane and Ads. The top 6 starting to break away from Silverside Boy and leaving a second behind at the start of the first, actually the start of the second sector. But Ads' tyres will start to fall off a little bit sooner than those around him as we head towards the chicane. For the second time at racing speed, Object looking for a move there on Drobo, but he's not going to make that move. In the meantime, meanwhile, Tidjum actually having a battle here with Bourbon Boy. Actually, I'll have a look there. In towards the chicane, but he's got a bit wide there at the exit of the chicane. Now Henkes is wanting to make the move stick on Tidjum, and to be fair to Tidjum, this is a bit of a mismatch between himself and Henkes. Henkes now on a little bit of his own recovery drive. He's now up into 11th place as there goes Bourbon Boy down the inside of Fish Sticks. Fish Sticks not giving up easily here, and he didn't let Bourbon Boy go. He didn't let him go without a fight, but to be fair to Fish Sticks, he was better off chasing shadows there. You're not going to defend from Bourbon Boy on fresher tyres. He hit the wall. Fish Sticks, calm down, lad. And there, no. Fastest lap goes to someone.
Everyone's sitting fastest laps.
Yeah, I think Bourbon Boy's going to hold on to it just for a little bit. At least for this lap, we'll go with that. But now AMS Drive 3/10 behind Object Fungus, and as it stands, Object Fungus will win the title by 11 points. AMS Drive has to finish ahead of Object Fungus, or else he's going to lose the title. I think this is going to be the 3rd attempt for AMS Drive. Can he make it 3rd time lucky? Can he end the duct that and his dark cloud that's been looming over him in the season finales? Can he finally pick up that elusive championship? Because Object Fungus on 92% battery, as AMS Drive on 87% battery. He's got a slipstream here behind Object. Object though puts it in the centre of the track, just to cover off all angles there from AMS Drive, and some decent defending here from the top two, as Drobel is just going to tow him along here, as Ads is now up to 4th ahead of Billy. Did Billy make a mistake? Or is Ads just that much faster on these tyres? So he's making us work here as the Ferrari, I'll give him that. Up 9 places now to 4th.
Oh, and it is getting close between Julie Vane and Jock 951. Oh, and is it nearly going to be... I thought it was nearly going to be 3 wide.
Yeah, we put a question there, but turn 1 around here, you're not even real 2 wide, or even 1.5 cars wide, let alone 2, or even 3. But Henkes wants to get himself involved in this fight, and Bourbon Boy looming large behind Silverside Boy, and that is a very good exit there from Bourbon Boy. Gets the cutback on the Red Bull and says bye-bye to Silverside Boy as they're ahead. Ads is making the move here on AMS Drive, and Drive is not fighting this. He's just going to let Ads get ahead and maybe force Object Fungus into a mistake. Ads has nothing to lose here, but Object and Object and Drive are fighting for the championship, and Object as well elects to let Ad through. And is Drobel going to let him through? Indeed he is. Ads has disposed of the top 3 and is now got ahead of them within 2 DRS straights. Ads now leads the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. You see all the top 5 so close together there as I completely cut off Rosie. But I'd imagine here you're going to mention this fight between Junivane and Henkes, and Silverside Boy is very quickly getting drawn into as Jock is under massive pressure from the Aston Martin here, isn't he? Still looking here towards the top 5. Adds 2 tenths ahead of Drobel, and this is probably where those soft tyres will start to fall off. But as well, if you're going to be Billy, Bourbon Boy and Silverside Boy, I'm going to have to do it like that because it's spelled different. Drobel now ahead of Ads in towards the chicane using the DRS, and he's not letting Ads lead the race for much longer than what he has to, as their Object almost pushing the Ferrari through the chicane. But can Drive make this work? He's not going to use his battery here, he's just going to sit behind Object and wait for the time to strike, as Ads is going to return the favour to Drobel using the DRS. So now the pendulum up at the front, Ads on 32% battery, Drobel on 90%, Object on 100%, and Drive on 95%. Billy's on 95% as well, so Ads is definitely the he's definitely the grey in the black and white here. Safe to say.
You know, I respect Cruiser for his camera work. It's actually very difficult, says Nigel.
Oh, thank you, Nigel. Well, I try my best. I try my best to get a little bit of everything through the field, but you can't really distract from the top 5 as they're pulling away, and actually Bourbon Boy's starting to close up a little bit here. On a lap, 1 lap for extra tyres, he's not far away here from Billy, and Ads is actually starting to back them up in towards the Williams. As it stands now, between Bourbon Boy and Henkes in their fight for 4th, Bourbon Boy has that one covered and will take it by 13 points for the Williams.
And Drobel makes moves.
Oh, Drive is looking for it around the outside of the chicane. Object left the gap open and Drive's going to force him while he's through. Is he going to make it stick here? Does expect Object to fight back with everything he has here? These are the title contenders. The championship rests on these 2 drivers' shoulders, and the wheels are separated by almost nothing. Drive looking for a cutback. Object runs wide and drives through.
No.
Is that again the pressure growing on Object Fungus?
And Billy is right on the back of his car.
As it stands now, though, as Ads is in a pit here from 2nd place, and he's probably throwing a set of hards to the end. It'll be 20 laps until the end of his 21 laps actually. And as it stands now, Object can afford this. He's going to win the title by 5 points. It's now about if AMS Drive can catch up to Drobel and keep that DRS He's now within 1.1 seconds. He's going to use that battery. I fear it's not going to be enough here for the Aston. He's 1.06. He's not going to get it. Now Object will. And Billy's now been caught by Bourbon Boy. So now Object and AMS Drive, these two are going to really start to fight here. But he can't afford to. I suppose Drive can't afford it, but Object can. Because even if Object finishes third, oh, he's got another snap. And there's that chance gone. But that fighting held him up a little bit. It's now about if Drive can catch Drobel and get within that DRS. Because Object will want to hold him up. Oh my goodness me. 20 more laps of this, by the way, as there was Genevieve against Jock. Jock holding it around the outside ahead of the Aston, faring quite well there. And actually, another driver faring quite well here, Silverside Boy. He got overtook by Henches, albeit on 2 lap fresher tyres as the Mercedes. But Silverside Boy is holding on to the back of the Mercedes actually quite well here, to be fair. So I know how that's going to go in like 10 laps time. Anyway, speaking of 10 laps, we're on that lap now, lap 10 in at the Abu Dhabi circuit in Abu Dhabi. There we go. 0.8 of a second now, and critically for AMS Drive, he's now back within range, but on 25% battery. Drobel on 80%, Object 50%. So now it's going to be a bit of recharge here for AMS Drive to get some of that battery back, and to keep Object behind him, because Object is now on 40%. He used a little bit there on the exit. Bourbon Boy now within a second of the top 3. Is Drive braking very late. Definitely on full recharge there, nearly full send into the back of the Haas. Is he going to look for a move here though? In towards turn 9. Drobel not using the battery here. AMS Drive going to look for the move. He's going to go down the inside. And he's going to take the lead as unless Drobel braves it around the outside, and that he's not going to. So Drive now leads the race, and I think Drobel might have heard about AMS Drive's battery count. He's on 30%, Drobel on 85. As we go again for another lap, is Billy in a pit here? He's 0.8 behind Bourbon Boy. He's actually sticking quite nicely to the back of this, well, at least to the back of this quintet, as Henke's just about a pull away from DRS range of Silverside Boy. Jock now getting firmly within range, as well as Junivane, who actually hasn't really made the gains through the field. Adad's actually pitted for medium tyres, so he's going to be on a 2-stop, which is strange. But I think if you're AMS Drive here, you're not going to fight any battles which are a lost cause, and you see there, he's just going to pull over to the right-hand side, the very hard right-hand side, just to let Drobel pick his braking point and let him know, at least Drobel let him, AMS Drive know that he's still there. I think he doesn't really need a reminder, does the Aston driver. But Object, does he have to make an overtake here? I don't think he does. He just has to keep his ground and then go when the time is right, because AMS Drive, as it stands, will win the title tonight by 2 points. Object has to finish in second place should Drive win, as I've already said, but I'm going to keep sounding like a broken record through the evening regarding the points totals. But as well, Bourbon Boy's actually starting to heckle Object. And 60% battery for the Williams, 10 lap old mediums as we cross the line to start lap 12. Bourbon Boy's actually starting to come back into this race here. As Silverside Boy's pitted in that fight there with Jock and Junivane, he's now going to a set of hards, I would assume, once you jump to the Red Bull. And indeed as a set of hards for the Red Bull driver. He runs over his mechanic in the front left. Thankfully he didn't injure him because Codemasters graphics. But away he goes now to go to the end of the race, should there be no more safety cars. Nigel actually saying he's getting 2016 flashbacks around here regarding this finale, and the 4 cars so close together on track, as Billy's just starting to drop a little bit further back here from Bourbon Boy and is now out of DRS range. So this is now a quartet up at the front as there goes Drobel around the outside of AMS Drive, who's not going to fight this battle too hard, and Drobel will retake the lead ahead of the Aston. Object now still in third, and Bourbon Boy sticking to the back of his group on 60% battery, Object on 40%, Drive on 35, and Drobel on 100.
Look at that camera angle. Looks nice.
That's one thing I'll say for Codemasters, they do give good replay cameras. Unfortunately, it's not really a spectator's game, it's more of a racing game. But as well, Billy actually caught up a lot of time there in that final sector. He was 1.5, he was 1.1 seconds behind Bourbon Boy. He's now within 6/10. So that's half a second he made up.
Look how close all the drivers are.
Oh, Billy! That was close. Made up all the time just to almost lose it. Completely going off the track in 12-lap-old mediums. That might be a sign that it's going to be a pit stop soon at the McLaren camp. Meanwhile, Bourbon Boy using the DRS just to stick within range of the top three as the MS Drive's going to return the favour again to Drobel, who used a lot of that battery there. Now down to 85 himself. Drive retaking the lead, and I just wonder here, is he going to try and force Drobel to burn his battery, or at least somewhat fight and get the advantage down towards turn 5 and turn 6? That is very close there. Drive shuts the door on the Haas, and on lap 13 here, AMS Drive back into the lead of the race, and Object Fungus is still holding station in third, as you see almost like an accordion there. Drobel, Object and Bourbon Boy drawing close to one another. But will any of them pit on this lap? I get the feeling that no one's going to, because yeah, it's a little bit too soon. Don't expect pit stops until around maybe lap 16, lap 17 for the leaders. But I'll say this as well, the undercut around here, who dares blink first? I get the feeling that one who might actually blink first is going to be the driver in third.
The top four seem to be trying it like really close together.
I wouldn't say they're not trying to overtake, but just the slipstream here is so powerful, and the DRS here too. Is don't really have a choice here, as there goes Drobel looking again to get the move done on MS Drive, but he just tucks up behind him again. And as well, regarding this, just top four just starting to just slow up a little bit and bunch up. Billy is now back within range. As there goes Bourbon Boy, you think he's going to eye up a chance here, but he just doesn't have a straight line speed here to get ahead of Object Fungus. Drive holds off another threat from Drobel. So that's your lot now for another lap, at least for the moment. Meanwhile, as Billy gets a 3-second penalty, he ran wide at turn 9. And that's going to really hurt his race and his pace. We'll look back to this fight now for 7th place regarding Jock, Ads and Junivane just a little bit in the distance there. Fishsticks made his actually 10 seconds behind this group, having his own little feud with Fox and Tidjum, as Silverside Boy is quickly catching up to them. He made his pit stop, did Silverside Boy, to go to the end on hards, as there was Ads looking for the move there, and Junivane, hearing the name Silverside Boy, is going to pit here on lap of 14 lap old hards. Should get him to the end, as there was Ads ahead of Jock, and Jock didn't really fight that battle too hard there. Just let him through it towards turn 1, and Ads now up to 7th place. Next up for him is going to be Henkes, and in a 6-second gap towards Billy and the top 4. And I see Nigel in the Twitch chat asking for an update on Object Fungus. There's a yellow flag. Oh, I think Tidjum's had a spin. He's had a spin, and he's... Oh, come on.
Oh, he's had a collision.
Silverside
Boy.
I think that's just an accident from the pair of them, as... Oh! I don't know
Tidjum's
about that,
missing the front wing.
And I think he's very angry there at the Red Bull. I've not seen Tidjum do that. Certainly must have been something he's not best pleased with. Now, this is going to completely change the complexion of this race. Everyone now is going to pit. However, Ads, does he have fresh mediums? Henkes will have to pit for hards. Billy is going to commit to hards. Bourbon Boy might have to go to hards himself. And the top 3 will be on mediums. And now, with this safety car, AMS Drive can just charge his battery. He will now be at 100%, and all that saving that Drobo done is going to count for nothing. But now can AMS Drive get ahead of the pack? Indeed he will. As Object's been held a little bit, but he's out ahead of Bourbon Boy just. And one driver's not mentioned a lot in this race, Fox. He got the pit lane build around here, getting a 3-second penalty going into the pit lane. As one does. And tell you what, Junovain's going to make up a few places here. He's going to get ahead of the little trio at the back. He's now up into 9th. But Bourbon Boy did have another set of mediums, and so did Ads. So that's vital for them. But Billy, he is really the odd one out here. Well, for the second time tonight, we're under safety car conditions. AMS Drive leading the way. Got the overtake done in Drobo and a bit of a to and fro from lap 14, and he's held it for that little bit longer, and now this is where it counts. He's going to have, 16, 17, he's going to have 12 laps to hold on to a victory, or at least fight for a victory to the end. And Silverside Boy gave us an update that Tijim did spin at turn 3, and he just had nowhere to go. We did see in the timings he was starting to catch them. So I think that's just a racing incident in the end for the Ferrari and the Red Bull. So for only one driver out of this race, that being David Lawface from lap 1, where he spun it just at this section of the track and hit the wall and is out of the race. But I'd imagine he's blaming, as I said earlier, he's probably blaming Mariah Carey now for the 5th time. But AMS Drive, David said he didn't spin.
Oh.
So that must have been a collision, as Drobo's pitting. What's this? What is Drobo doing? Did he get wing damage? Was he going for a set?
Yeah, he's changing his front wing. Oh, he did
have damage! What happened there?
David said he believed he got done in by a certain Williams driver.
Well, with Drobo changing his front wing, it's now as you were at the front. And as it stands, Object Fungus is going to win the title by 1 point. Can Bourbon Boy, Billy, Hench's Ads, can any of them inject themselves in this fight for the lead and this fight now, effectively, for a championship? I need a drink there, pardon me. Safety car should be in at the end of this lap if Drobo and Fishsticks do catch up. But can Drobo stretch these tyres 12 laps to the end?
Well, he is on the soft tyres.
I don't know if he's going to, honestly. But best be assured he's going to be a rocket ship at his restart. So Silverside Boy, Tijim, Fox, even Junovain and Jock, be very, very careful. There's a Haas that's about to charge at this restart.
Safety cars in the slap.
Now for the final 12 laps in Tier 1. AMS Drive's doing everything he can do. Object Fungus doing everything he has to do. Bourbon Boy in this title fight, it doesn't count for him, so he can afford to go for it, as long as he keeps it civil and safe as we get underway. For the second time tonight, AMS Drive, Object Fungus, Bourbon Boy, Billy, Henches, Ads, Jock, Junovain, Fox and Tijim in the top 10 with Silverside Boy, Drobel and Fish Sticks looming large behind the Red Bulls. We get underway for the final time in Tier 1. As you see immediately, there's a huge gap that's been formed between the top 5 there as Ads got a terrible restart. An Object down inside of AMS Drive, and he needs that for track position there. Object now taking the lead, and is the AMS Drive going to abuse his battery? I don't think he's going to. He's using a little bit there to draw alongside. Object trying to go down the inside into Fennis position, and the AMS Drive just backs off here. But Heroes Bourbon Boy looking for the move on the Aston in towards the chicane. Jump on board with the AMS Drive, forces Bourbon Boy wide, gets a little bit of a tag there, and that's allowed Object to break free from the pair of them. But Bourbon Boy's now down the inside, and adds his Drive gonna fight this in towards turn 9. He's gonna keep fighting it, but he can't afford to lose too much time. Bourbon Boy now gets into second place. Now, where does he go from here? Still looking here at the top 4, and as well Drobel was in 11th place. He's now up in 9th place, made up a few places there at that restart. Junivane next up for him, and I would probably say his next victim in this race, as we have 11 laps remaining. Adds, ironically, with the fastest lap, as he's caught right up to Henches. He must have had a bad restart. Caught napping quite badly, it must have been. But he had 2 seconds in hand. It's now half a second between himself and the Mercedes. Billy still in 4th, but on that 3-second penalty. Drive, Bourbon Boy and Object Fungus now starting to break away, 7 tenths ahead of the Williams. But Bourbon Boy 74% battery, Object 84% battery, heading into the chicane. And AMS Drive matching Bourbon Boy, Billy on 83, Henches on 80. So the top 4 and top 5 all sharing roughly the same amount of battery here as we head in towards turn 9. As there's a fight here starting to develop here between Fox and Silverside Boy. Two former commentary partners there, as there goes Drobel getting ahead of Junivane in towards turn 9, as there's something that's happened in the background. Did it involve Drobel?
Yeah, Junivane, I think, went at the back of Drobel's car and right behind him.
And if I should ask you, Rosie, could you please check the warnings here for Object and AMS Drive, just so we have an idea on what is going on?
Yeah.
As lap 20, 10 laps left in Tier 1, and the final 10 laps of Season 6. Adds 2 tenths behind Henches, as actually Nigel's keeping an eye on him. And Nigel actually thinks there that Object ran wide there for a 3rd time, but he didn't get a penalty. So it seems like the game disagrees with you, Nigel. I know what one I would trust more, and it's probably you. Anyway, Rosie.
Object Fungus has only got 1 warning for exceeded track limits.
Well, trust the game. And regarding Drive, I'd imagine he's on a clean slate. So Object does have 1 more joker, but he can't afford another one. He's just all about just keeping 1st place and not allowing Bourbon Boy or Drive to get ahead, because Drive has to get ahead of the pair of them. Bourbon Boy has to get ahead of Object. So now the final 10 laps here. Are we going to see tactics and even some chess mindsets from the AlphaTauri driver? As you see there, the top 7 in the 1 camera shot there. That's absolutely incredible here for Tier 1. I don't have the privilege of commentating Tier 1 too much, but when you do, this is proper high-level tier racing, which, to be fair, I can probably dream of doing, because I ain't quick enough.
Good racing.
That is. It's just good tactical racing towards the end, as well. Actually, ignore the lead for the moment. Adds right behind Henches here. As he's going to look for the move in towards turn 5. He is thinking about it. He's going to look for it, and he's going to invite himself down the inside of the Mercedes and makes it stick. Adds now up to 5th. You now hold on to this though, down the back straight, as there's Bourbon Boy looking for a move there on Object. Not quite, he's just going to sit behind, as now Henk looking down the inside to retake 5th place ahead of the Ferrari. They can't afford to fight too badly and too hard in towards the chicane. Ads forces Henches wide. He's ready at the DRS. It's neither. Oh no, Henches got it. Somehow he was behind at the detection point. But Ads is just about going to hold on as there goes Drobel on the softs down the inside of the Mercedes, and he's now up into 6th. So Drobel's on a charge. Ads is making his way through the pack. Oh, goodness me. Please don't strip this race, because whatever the script is right now, tear it up and write a new chapter. Lap 22. 8 laps left. Object still leading the way. Got the move done on lap 18 and has held the lead for a few laps. Bourbon Boy 4 tenths behind the AlphaTauri. AMS Drive 4 tenths behind the Williams. Billy holding on as well in 5th, and Ads draining every ounce of that battery to just about sneak within DRS range, and he's going to by the finest of margins. And now it's going to be a 8-car scramble here, all in the one DRS train. So jump on board with Bourbon Boy. He's pulling to the inside of Object Furnace. He's looking for the move, and he's going to make it stick in towards the chicane. Bourbon Boy takes the lead of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix for the first time tonight as the Williams driver, but now AMS Drive, he's going to have to go for it here. He's got no option. If you look behind the AlphaTauri, he's draining his battery to pull away from AMS Drive and reel in Bourbon Boy. Just about had enough space there to make it stick and go around the outside. Object, no margin for error and no margins given. He retakes the lead. I did hint earlier at a few cracks starting to show at the AlphaTauri camp, but I think they were very much nullified there. Object doing everything he can to hold on. 7 to go in Abu Dhabi. 7 tenths between Bourbon Boy and Object Fungus. AMS Drive on 80% battery. Bourbon Boy 85. Drobel 65. So ultimately, was that a tactical overtake from Bourbon Boy to burn Object's battery? He's now 7 tenths behind, and he's just not going to use any. Drive is, though, as he looks towards the outside, actually. Bourbon Boy changing line there to force AMS Drive around the outside in towards the braking point. He can't afford to fight too badly, but they're going to go wheel to wheel in towards the chicane. And Drive makes it stick. But Bourbon Boy will have the exit and the traction in towards turn 9. Both of them draining the battery that they can't afford to. And there goes Drive as they tuck in behind. Bourbon Boy getting boxed in there by Object Fungus, and Drive go around the outside of Bourbon Boy. Has Object Fungus, and has certainly helped Ads.
Nearly contact.
There does the Aston, and Object's defence has helped Drive ahead of the Williams. Oh my goodness. I thought Object's move in the prior lap was cutthroat. That was clinical. From the MS Drive, he had to make it stick. But now 55% battery, plays 58% battery for Object Fungus. As Bourbon Boy, he hit the marker board. Did he hit the wall? I don't think he hit the wall, but he definitely hit the marker board. That was mightily close there for the Williams driver. I think he got away with one there.
Lap 24 of 29.
6 laps to decide history in FPRL. Will it be a 2-time champion or the very first championship for the Aston Martin, who's going to turn off the DRS and sit behind Object? Now this is where the tactical games begin. But if you drive, you need Bourbon Boy, or Ads for that matter, who's now up in 4th. Ads is now on the scene, as well as Drobel. After that front wing change, he's now up into 5th, and he's going to look for a move around the outside of Ads and towards turn 9. He's going to look for it. Does he have enough grip? I don't think he does. He's going to sit behind Drobel, and Ads have now arrived on the scene. You see how close Ads is to Object. He's pushing him around the hotel. Oh my goodness. The 5 laps remaining. Everyone share the stream. Get everyone in here for the climax of Season 6. This is going to be a heartbreaker
and a history maker for one of these two drivers. Until I'd probably for both of them, but who's going to be the history maker? Object chasing that second championship and will be the only driver in FPRL to have 2 championships in the same division. AMS Drive, he's been in this position before, but can he win when it counts the most on the finale? As down the back straight we go. 3 tenths between them. Object Fungus is not going to use that battery. He's just going to let AMS Drive close up there as Ads is defending there from Jobo, looking for a bit of fresh air. As there goes the wheel banging from the pair of them. Drive just about gets it stopped in time. Object very robust in that defence, forcing AMS Drive as tight as he can, and now using that battery. I think Drive's had enough of his games. He wants to get ahead of him as quick as he can and maybe try and think about pulling away here as around the hotel. Object is going to force him wide there, and this is where
cars.
this is where the games begin between the pair of them. Is still wheel to wheel in towards the hotel, and Object holds on again, but very robust in that defence. He's got to be careful about that. And Shadows again confirming if Object finishes in second place, that will have enough in hand just as Odyssey yellow flag. Henkes has spun, and it's a nut. Oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god. A safety car.
Wow.
For the final 2 laps of Tier 1. For the final 2 laps of Season 6. This is going to be a 2-lap shootout for the title. Oh my life.
My god.
Oh my life.
And most drivers have took the advantage to pit for soft tyres.
The top 5 didn't. They went past the pit lane. Henkes was next. Henkes was 6th before that spin, and everyone below that. Oh my goodness. I can't. I can't. How did Crofty do this? How did Crofty do it? I don't know. Oh my god, I need more than Pepsi here. Get me up. Get me a bloody beer after this, man. I just need something to calm myself down. Oh my goodness. I'll say this though, Rosie. There would not be any other fitting way to cap off a championship.
No.
As the top 5 are gonna pit. This is going to be a straight shootout to the end. As Ads is making a service there, as into the pits we go. There goes Object. Ads is going to jump Bourbon Boy and Drobo. Oh my god. What is going on?
What is going on?
What is going on? Ads is now in 3rd.
Wow.
Drive in 2nd. As on the brakes, everyone, careful. If Drive.
And Fungus is leading.
Nigel saying that that's the man that you want in 3rd place. It counts for nothing, though, if Drive doesn't win. As Crucidodo knocks over my drinks ball. Thank you. And again, Nigel confirming that will be no DRS. And Shadow saying that Drive has to put his foot flipped through his pedal down these main straights and down what would be the DRS straights. But because of the safety car and how late it is in the race, the DRS will not be in effect towards the... Cruiser, please stop knocking over my drinks, please.
Aww.
Stop knocking over my juice.
Where's the dog?
Yeah, Cruiser, we love you so. Want to say hello?
Aww. Hello, Cruiser dog.
Right, give me a little kiss on the nose, thank you.
Yeah.
Right. I think I know where this is going between these two. This is going to be near enough a level pegging. Good luck, salute from both of them as we make our way for the final time to start the final 2 laps and a championship deciding 2 laps in Tier 1. Nigel saying that if this was him in this position, his heart rate would be over 200. I'll say this, I'm panicking and I am watching this, trying to broadcast it. His object, he's went incredibly early. Is he going to get away with it? I think he is.
He's gone.
He's caught Drive napping, big time. And Drive knows could be a fatal mistake. 2 laps remaining in Abu Dhabi, and away we go for what is the final time in Tier 1 and the last time in Tier 6. Well, not quite Tier 6, but Season 6, Tier 1, whatever.
Season 6.
I can't think straight. We've got a title decided. We've got a 2-lap shootout to the end between the top 2. Object, Drive, Ads, Drogo, Bourbon Boy, the top 5. Billy in 6th, but on that penalty. Jock, Junivane on the penalty as well. Henkers and Silverside Boy hanging on to a point in 10th. As now down the back straight we go for the penultimate time. Object on 90% battery, Drive on 75% battery. Did that restart cost Drive that little bit too much there? But you see how much time he gained through the chicane. He's gained nearly double on Drobo. Forgive me if I go silent, I'm going to be watching this closely. It's now Drive, full send and full commitment here to make this stick. He has to give it everything. And hope Ads takes 2nd place, because that is going to be the title. Go into the Aston Martin, because as it stands, Object's doing everything he has to do and everything he can do to hold on to the championship. And now we round the final few corners to start the final lap of Season 6. Object leads them away like he has done in the championship all campaign, and Drive takes the fastest lap point, which will not count for too much. But is that important to take away from take away from Object Fungus? Drobo hanging on in 4th, and away we go for the final time. This is Drive's last chance to make the overtake, and he needs Ads to follow him ahead of Object, who's on 80% battery. Drive on 60% battery. He's going to rinse absolutely everything here to get ahead, and Drobo weaving, breaking the slipstream here in towards turn 5 and turn 6. Drive is gaining all the time. He's drawing ever closer. He's drawing closer, but not close enough to think about the overtake. He's not going to make it work here unless he makes this down towards turn 9. Object gets a poor exit though, and Drive is going to get the slipstream here. Is it going to be enough? Draining that battery, rinsing it down to almost nothing. Object holding the inside line as Henkes is out of the race on the final lap. He had a collision there with Billy. Object goes deep, Drive looking for the cut back up the inside. Object's just about going to hold on. They bind wheels. And is that it? Was that Drive's last chance? And I fear for Drive it's going to be deja vu again as he rounds the final few corners. And for the very first time in FPRL, we're going to have a 2-time champion. In the Clash of the Titans, it's Object Fungus, the double in FPRL. 2 times, Object wins. An almightily climactic grand finale and a fitting send-off to Season 6. Object Fungus, a 2-time winner in FPRL. History awaits, and history is now for the AlphaTauri.
Wow, what a race. Whew.
Oh my goodness.
Breathe.
Oh man. Anyway. The results, at least for the moment as they stand, pending a steward's inquiry, at least any steward's inquiry should they be reported, Object Fungus will win the championship on this victory. AMS Drive will be 2nd place on track and 2nd place in the standings. But Ads, what a performance. From 13th up to 3rd. Drobo to take 4th. Bourbon Boy will have 5th and win his fight with Henkes in the standings to take 4th overall. Jock, Silverside Boy takes 7th, 8th place. House Tijum got 9th in Tier 1.
Wow.
and first gets a point as well. Jim, I salute you. But
Well
anyway,
done.
the night and the season belongs to one man, and that's Object Fungus, as we'll get our top 3 in for post-race debrief. Oh my... Right, I need to lie down after that.
Rest your voice.
Oh, more than a rest for my voice. I just need to lie down. I'm drained from that. And I did promise, end of the season, we'd do the compendium sticker opening. So, you know what? I'm not going to play this game until next year, so let's send it. As we'll get our drivers in for a post-race chat. And we begin with half of the Red Bull celebrating, what was that? Max's second championship. Hello, Nigel. How timely. And another Red Bull. And a Ferrari, as you do. Anyway, we'll wait and see if Ads joins up. Oh, look, Nicky Lauda. If Ads joins up, if not, we'll have a chat with the top 2. And I just say we'll just give him a little bit, of time. If he doesn't join, then we'll begin with the MS Drive. Let's make your audio included.
I do indeed.
Drive. Just talk us through that race. That was one of the closest races I've seen from a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really remember much of the race. Obviously, there was the last couple laps. I know it was just kind of DRSing. I think I was running too high wings. It just wasn't very raceable. But I mean, yeah, it was just, you could feel in that first stint, the second stint, and then that final safety car, like it was all just building up to those final moments, and just didn't have the speed to mount a proper challenge. I guess I could have dove it. We had a little bit side by side, which almost ended up quite badly. But no, very enjoyable, hard, but fair in the end. And a big congrats to Object.
Yeah, but regardless though, that was an incredibly close race, and fair to say you two gave it absolutely everything to put on a show for us all, and not a discount Drobo, Ads, Bourbon Boy, and even Billy as well. As an outsider, that was, I'd probably argue, race of the season for Tier 1, so I'll give my 2 cents on that. But again, it just isn't meant to be for you, but I'm sure Season 7, you'll be back with a vengeance, I'm sure.
I hope so. Yeah, this season was never really my season. I was kind of gifted an opportunity, which I tried to seize, but nevertheless, definitely try and be back for next season and try and actually put something together from the start to the finish.
And as we head off for our season break, New Year bender?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Nice. And that has been our P2 driver, AMS Drive, everyone. And
Thank
now,
you.
Rosie, over to our very first 2-time champion of FPRL. Rosie R, take it away with Object Fungus.
Right, have you got your audio included?
Of course.
Right, talk us through that race. How did that go for you?
Well, as all could have probably seen, the race was very close. We've had a very nice grid, definitely, for the last race. And the racing was just the managing of the DRS train and trying to stay in the best position possible to, just manage my opportunities. And I was definitely seeing that I wasn't the fastest on track, and people had more pace, but due to me luckily running quite low wings, I was always able to keep them away or attacking them again, so that did save me in the end. And luckily enough it was enough, and I can be here happy.
that was definitely a close battle between some of the drivers that you were. Do you think you had the pace round Abu Dhabi?
Abu Dhabi is not really my favorite track, and in terms of pace, I was sure that there were probably 3 drivers quicker than me. But yeah, it was just the fact that it's such a DRS train, and Sector 3 has no overtaking opportunities that managed me to stay in the position that I was. And the very last safety car was probably a great opportunity for me, and just bunch the field up one more time, and then the nice safety car restart luckily gave me a comfortable gap for the penultimate lap, where I didn't have to use my ERS, so I was able to deploy on the last lap and defend from Drive, who once again just put up a massive fight. But it's always enjoyable. We respecting each other on track very nicely, and the racing is just very fun.
Fair enough. That's it for me. Well done in this race tonight. You did a good job.
Thank you.
Cruiser, you've got anything to say?
Apart from congratulations to an FPRL, to a FPRL history maker. A new book, a new chapter in FPRL, and that is 2 times for Object Fungus. And as we round off the compendium in perfect timing, I'm not going to go through all that album, I'll do it post-stream. We'll get to the showroom at last and get the Alpha Tauri up on stream. And the Alpha of Tier 1, he reigns supreme tonight round Abu Dhabi and rules the roost to take the championship home. And on that note, just to say a big thank you to everyone who competed in FPRL, who obviously who helped out in general to help this league grow to 4 tiers and make it what was arguably one of, if not the closest split tiers across our entire divisions. 3 titles down to the final race, and that truly is something that we want to see more of. And I'm going to take as well to properly thank Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3 and Tier 4. All races I've actually had the chance to commentate over this season, apart from Tier 3 obviously. I've done a running commentary of my bad luck in Tier 3. But just in general, a big thank you to everyone for the on-track battles, and a big congratulations to our champions, Object Fungus, Nigel Piddle, Steph Meister and Epic Frenchie for Season 6. And that will be it. Before we go though, Rosie, for the final time in this season, who is Driver of the Day from you?
Well, it was definitely very close between some of the drivers that were in this tier tonight, but I think my Driver of the Day has to be Fungus. Sorry, but I think he's just done very good driving tonight. I think he definitely had the pace, even though he said Abu Dhabi wasn't his favourite track, but he definitely had to try and keep up with a lot of drivers.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just before we go, Object, Tomcat, as your own little fan club, he's been cheering you on and saying my 2-time champion. So
yeah, Tomcat is just the best engineer, the best fan club himself. He's just amazing.
Now soon, Object Fungus Supporter Club taking over the world. And speaking of taking over the world, that's going to be it from FPRL. But keep an eye out, Season 7, that is where we take over and have a Continental Classic on the horizon for Season 7. So you don't want to miss that out across all of 2024. Not that long away actually, only 2 weeks. Wow. But
wow.
Yeah, that's going to be it from Rosie R.
Yeah.
And
from me.
And from me, Cruiser 1872, one big final thank you to everyone who competed, raced, and joined FPRL throughout this season. Made it one of the best that I've ever had to commentate and compete in. And as we wind down now for our Christmas break, I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas. Have a safe holidays with your families. Have a happy New Year. Enjoy your Hogmanays. And for the final time in Season 6, this has been Cruiser 1872. Thank you all
And
very much
Rosie
for
R.
watching.
Merry
Along with
Christmas,
Rosie
guys.
R, as I completely cut you off there. Yeah, from all of us here at FPRL, good night and a goodbye. We'll see you all for
Goodbye.
We'll see you all in Season 7, and we'll see you all in 2024.